I want to ask you something, and I don't want you to answer it quickly. Just sit with it for a moment. Who are you when no one is watching? Not when people are around, not when you're posting, not when you're trying to show up in any way. Who are you really?
Hey guys, welcome to the Advantage podcast with KMR. I am KMR. Well, my name is Rejoice Azuka Owuseba, but everyone calls me KMR, Kingmaker Rejoice. And this is one podcast where we have conversations where you think, where you come out of your comfort zone and you confront those limiting beliefs and limiting behaviors and limiting patterns that you ordinarily would not confront. I look forward to you growing and becoming through this podcast.
Hi there, welcome back to the Advantage podcast. It's good to have you here. Today we're going to be talking about something I feel is very profound and very important to sit with. I want to ask you something, and I don't want you to answer it quickly. I want you to sit with it in the moment. Who are you when no one is watching? When there are no people around? When you're not posting and you're not trying to show up in a certain way? Just you. Your habits, your choices, how you spend your time where there is no pressure, no expectation, no audience. Because that version of you is the one that is actually building your life. Not the visible one, the private one. And it's easy for us to do like a PR, a public perception management on how people see us. You can be intentional, you can be put together, you can be focused. I mean, if you meet me on a normal day, you wouldn't see me made up, you'd see me dressed like me. And you could say the right things, you could show up in the right places, you could present yourself well, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the truth is this, that's not the full picture. There's another version of you that nobody sees. That's the one that decides whether you follow through or delay. That's the one that decides whether you do what you said you would do or you push it forward again. That's the one that decides exactly what needs to be done, but negotiates with it. And over time, that version becomes the more visible one, because eventually your results will expose your character. Your results would expose your habits. Your results would expose your patterns. You've seen this before. Someone sounds disciplined, they talk well, they seem structured, they look like they have everything going for them. But then when you watch them over time, their results don't match the efforts they've packaged for you to see. Things don't move, there's no real consistency, there's no real growth, and then you start noticing the gap. Not between effort and results, but between what is said and what was actually done. And you realize that it's not about what they say, it's about what they do when nobody is watching. And the truth is, this applies to all of us. Most of us don't ruin our progress with big mistakes. It is one major decision that throws everything off. It's the small things, the things that seem insignificant in the moment. Choosing to delay something simple or ignore something that you planned to do, telling yourself I'll do it later, and actually believing that. There's nothing serious, there's nothing dramatic, but when those small choices repeat, then they stop being small. They become a pattern. And very soon, your pattern becomes normal. And once something becomes your normal, it stops feeling like a problem and it becomes how you live. Let me give you an example. So you plan your day, nothing complicated, just a few things that you said you would do. And maybe you even felt clear about it. You were focused, you're ready. Then the day starts, you're distracted. Something came up. You're checking your phone longer than planned. You tell yourself, I'll do it later. Later comes and goes. And by the end of the day, you've moved it again to the next day. Now that one day doesn't look like a big deal. You move on. But when it becomes a pattern, something deeper starts to shift. You stop trusting your own plans. You stop taking your decisions seriously because you know, I'm not going to do it anyways. Do you see? Without realizing it, you're approaching your life with less conviction. Let that sit with you for a minute. You take actions that convinces you that your life is not worth the effort. And because somewhere inside you've learned, I don't always follow through. It affects more than the way you think. It affects the way you live. It affects the way you show up. A lot of us say that we want to feel more confident. But confidence is not something that we switch on and off. It's not something that we force. It comes from trust. Specifically, trust in yourself. And trust is something that you build in moments that nobody sees. Trust is when you do something that you said you would. Even if it's small, even if it's inconvenient, even if nobody knows that you did it. That's where it starts. So you decide, I'm going to wake up at a certain time. No one is watching, no one is checking. No one would question if you ignore it. And you can easily turn off your alarm and go back to sleep. And honestly, that's what many of us do. But on days that you don't, something builds. It's quiet while it's building. And it ends up becoming something that you struggle with in the future. But when you choose to get up, when you choose to move, even when you don't feel like it may not seem like a big deal at the moment, but over time it accumulates. You now realize that you are more steady. You're more in control of your life. You're more certain about yourself, not because your life changed dramatically, but because your relationship with yourself has changed. Now let's be honest for a moment. Have you ever felt that tension where you say you want to do something and how you're actually living doesn't match with what you want? You don't talk about it, you feel it, that slight discomfort, that internal resistance, that moment that you pause and you think, this is not really how I want to be showing up. This is not really how I want to be. That feeling is not random. It's a gap that grows the more unsettled you feel. Not because something is wrong externally, but because something internal is not aligned. So you say you want to grow, but most of your time goes into things that don't move you forward. You say you want discipline, but your habits do not support a disciplined life. You say you want better results, but your behavior does not reflect that. Again, it's not about perfection. It's not about getting everything right. It's about awareness. It's about honesty with yourself. I think it was Pontius Pilate who said, to thine own self be true. The greatest form of deceit is self-deceit. You could lie to all of us, but do you really want to live a life where you've lied to yourself, where you've told yourself that this is the standard that I want to live by, even though you know you could do better than that? So because you can see it, begin to adjust it. I'm not asking you to make a rapid overnight change. I'm asking you to start paying attention to the version of you that shows up when it's just you. Start small. Don't overcomplicate it. Just choose one area and ask yourself, if I'm being honest, what needs to be changed here? Not everything, just one thing. Start there. You don't need to announce it. You don't need pressure. Be consistent. Because if you really want to move forward, you can't afford to focus on what people see. Pay attention to what they can't, because that's where your life is actually being shaped. That's where your direction is being formed. and that's where your future is being built. So before I go, sit with this. Don't rush it. If there was no audience, no pressure, no expectation, would you still respect how you're living? Just sit with that.